Hey, I'm Michael. Welcome back to another video. As you all know, I have this investment challenge going on, which is an ongoing challenge, where I invest $1 for every new subscriber to my channel. So if you haven't done already, subscribe to my channel so that I invest even more money. The idea is that I put every dollar that I invest for every new subscriber into Spaceship Voyager. And as soon as I reach at least $500 in that account, I start investing that money into individual shares. But today's topic will be around how great I find the communication that Spaceship does to their customers. And that's actually really, really good. So I enjoy every email I get from them. It doesn't end up in my spam folder, not at all. It actually contains really, really good information. And you get two types of emails from Spaceship. One is when they publish a new blog post on their website that's usually around finance and how to save money, how to budget, and some really good investment tips as well. But the one that I more look forward to is one where it is about the investment portfolios and the updates that Spaceship Voyager made to their investment portfolios. They have 3 investment portfolios, which is the Origin portfolio, that's a standard portfolio. They have the Universe portfolio, which I'm investing in, and they now have a new one that is the Earth portfolio. And for all these 3 investment portfolio, they share their updates. I think it's on a weekly basis on what they did and what the stories behind the stocks are, and what is currently driving the share price of the companies that they are invested in. And in today's video, we're gonna have a quick look into some of the emails that I receive, and I show you some examples on why I think it's such a great communication. So I'm gonna share my screen, and then we continue to talk about what I like about it and what I think is so valuable in those emails. And this is actually why I think it's already worth creating an account with them to just receive those updates emails. And I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to have a look. So I'm here in my email account, and I highlighted already some of the emails. I have searched for just the emails that contain the information about changes to their portfolio. So I've just searched for those specific email. And let's start with the latest one. And the latest one called "We Bought and Sold Some Stocks." So you actually get information about what got updated in their portfolios. And I find that interesting, of course, because I'm invested in that portfolio, but also because I'm really interested around what do they think about the stocks that they're invested in, and what is currently going on with those companies, to potentially even get some more background information about investments that I have on my own. Because some of the companies that are in the Universe portfolio are also in my individual portfolio. So looking into that email, it was obviously saying they bought some and they sold some stocks, and they bought 1 stock, and I think they sold 3 stocks. So we're going to have a quick look. The one that they bought is Twilio, which is a US company, a cloud-based business communication provider. And it's actually a little bit interesting to me. So they obviously do a lot of phone and VoIP services and email and messaging. And you should think, and that's also my first thought, is it really something that they can compete with the big organizations like Microsoft and Google? I think it's really, really hard to compete in that. The big advantage is, and that's probably where they were coming from, is a properly phone operating system. So something like Cisco has developed as well, but they have created their VoIP system and have connected some of the other services like email and messaging. And it's still very, very popular in the US, and they have some big brands as customers. And what we can do, we can have a quick look at the share price as well, how it has done over the recent time. So when we look at the last year, you can see it certainly has developed really, really good. So it's already moving really well, the share price. So you can see where it was coming from. And I need to say I'm interested to see how much further growth there is, short term potentially, of course, but over the long term, I'm actually not sure how well and how good they can compete again against the big brands. Anyway, you see some information about the companies, and they also explain why they think it actually can do well in the future. And they're saying, yeah, in fact, the company has become a bit of a one-stop shop for communication. And even did some, it acquires an email delivery service, SendGrid. SendGrid was actually very, very popular. So this is obviously a segment that was doing really well. So yeah, I don't want to underrate the company. It would not be a company that I would personally purchase into an individual portfolio, but I certainly like the exposure via the Universe portfolio. And then the 3 stocks that they sold was Constellation Software, a software provider to track record and acquiring, managing, and building industry-specific software. Anyway, Elmo, I've heard about Elmo. Anyway, Pinnacle Investment Management, and Sonic Health. So these are the 3 stocks that had to make room for Twilo. And then some other information in that email as well about the Spaceship Origin portfolio. And it's actually, the Origin portfolio is a little bit boring because it's actually a little bit like an ETF that just tracks specific indices. You can see the Spaceship Origin portfolio is made up of around 100 of the largest ASX listed companies and 100 of the largest globally companies. And a very large exposure is here in the US, but they also have exposure into other countries as well. And then a little bit on the Earth portfolio. This is a portfolio that has a smaller number of individual stocks that they pick. However, there were no changes this time. And this is a relatively new portfolio anyway. They launched that portfolio in November. So as you can see, it's one email, and it has already, in my opinion, tons of information as an investor into when you are interested in what happens with the Universe portfolio, but also if you are just interested to find some ideas, what companies you could do some further research on, without taking that as advice that you should invest into a Twilo as well, for example. But have a little bit of a research. Have a look what you think. I certainly think it would not fit into my portfolio. It certainly would from the type of company, but I believe there are other companies that will take over that these type of services, and they're potentially better positioned. Anyway, and there are some other things. The other ones that I found really interesting, I highlighted here, and again, sign up for their newsletters, or potentially even just create an account to get those emails, because I think they're actually really valuable. Yeah, another one would be a bit of a wrap up from 2020, and they talked about Casper and Quibi, which is really interesting because Quibi is one of the streaming companies that got a really high valuation in early April, and they started and launched that service with so many hopes, and it's not even a year in. So they're talking, I think they're saying even 6 months after the launch, and they already had to shut down again. So I actually remember when the service became live and online, and they were advertising for it. But I actually don't remember when it got shut down and the service got closed, which as always happens, right? When something gets closed, people tend to not talk about it anymore. And then run insanely successful story as well about Airbnb. And for everyone who doesn't know the story, the IPO was already planned for quite some time, and it was planned exactly when the market got down. So in March, April, and so they postponed the IPO for Airbnb, and they actually. They obviously were struggling with the situation. However, the management from Airbnb acted really, really fast, and they had to cut their staff by around 25%, which obviously is a lot for a growing company as well. And luckily for the company, that put them in a really good financial position to make sure that they survive that time and that they could think about the future and can focus on the money that's still coming in and can still redevelop the company so that it still operates in a good way. Very sad for so many people that lost their jobs, but it put the company in a position to actually survive and come out of that pandemic in a more better and stronger way. And they actually now they are IPO'd, right? So they are on the listed market. Before I open the share price, fast forward when it launched, the company got valued at 35 billion US dollars, and now they have over $100 billion, I think. Airbnb share price, I think. So looking at the chart, it actually got, I think they estimated below 100 the IPO, and it actually doubled on the first day. Market cap is now over 100 billion. This is in German, so disregard the Milliarden dollar, it's billion US dollars now valuation. So yeah, pretty cool to see how the valuation of Airbnb has developed and how strong it actually, even stronger than it was planned for the first IPO. And and as I mentioned earlier, probably the last email that I opened, some information about the new portfolio, and that I talked already a lot about it a little bit, but it has also, that email has some really interesting information that is interesting to people that are invested into other portfolios. So this is the new Spaceship Earth portfolio. It's a new one, and it's focused on sustainable companies. They try to create a portfolio that includes sustainable businesses that focus on how they do business and making sure that they protect the earth. It basically the same conditions. Everything below 5,000 is free, so you do not have to pay any management fees or account fees or anything when you invest less than 5,000 Australian dollars. And if you invest more than $5,000, is 0.1% per year on your balance above that. So the investments below 5,000 is still for free and stays for free. And then some Q&A, basically. If I'm already a Spaceship Voyager customer, can I invest more in more than one portfolio? It's something that they are not able to do at the moment. So you have to choose one portfolio, and this is the one portfolio that you have to stick to. However, it looks like this is a feature that is coming early this year, that you are able to have more than one portfolio within that Spaceship platform. And then can I switch between my portfolios? This is not possible at the moment. I'm not sure if it actually would be beneficial for users or not to switch between portfolios. I think you should decide on something that you are comfortable with, how aggressive you want to invest or how much risk you want to take, because the universe portfolio certainly, in my opinion, holds a little bit more risk because they are more investing into growth companies. but I think you should not switch too often anyway, because it just I'm not sure if this is actually benefit you as an investor. And they have done some changes to their disclosure statements. But as you can see, these emails are actually really good written. All of them contain really good information, and I really like reading through them to get investment ideas, to see what is happening, to see their opinion on some stocks. Again, it's really just their opinion that they share and what is behind their investment decision. And it's not too detailed, so don't expect really a lot of details on their investment decisions, but you get a bit of an idea on what they think and what their reasons behind a buy or sell in their portfolio was. I hope this was interesting to you. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Spaceship portfolios and the Spaceship app. And yeah, looking forward to see you in my next video. Until then, bye.